Ross calls you a pen-wielding Rosemary's baby.
Whoa.
Talk about Satan there, honey. Whoa.
God, Gene, that's pretty
And your mother looks at this stuff, too.
My
Back in
poor
Australia.
mother,
Oh
my poor parents, they are thoroughly appalled by what I've done.
Are
Thoroughly
they?
ashamed.
But they still talk to you.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
And you record their conversations and put them on your website. Some of them.
Yeah, I make notes on some of them, and some of their emails that they wouldn't mind too terribly much that I run. Yeah, I mean, the world should know that Luke Ford's parents do not endorse LukeFord.com and are thoroughly ashamed of their son
How do
writing
they feel about your
pornography.
conversion?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's a bitter pill, too, because my
Yeah.
father's a Christian
Right.
theologian and evangelist, and that I would convert to Judaism is a bitter pill. But they're glad in the sense that before that I was an atheistic communist and a secular hedonist.
Oh, so you're getting better.
So that's an improvement. And GeneRoss.com, he's the longtime lead figure on the editorial side of Adult Video News. Adult Video News is the one trade publication in the adult industry, and hence wields tremendous power. It's published by Paul Fishbein. And I almost went to work for them in February of 1998. We were talking about my coming over to reinvigorate AVN Online. And I decided to keep doing my own thing. And so they switched Gene Ross from the magazine to giving him his own internet column. And he shadows me, and if I'm ever incorrect on something or unfair or just I'm vicious, he will highlight it and punch back. And so LukeFord.com stimulated the emergence of GeneRoss.com, and I read Gene twice a day, and he's a much more responsible, conventional, industry-friendly journalist than I am.
Yes. Now, your success, and you have been successful. I mean, I don't know if you're making a living yet, but
Yeah, I'm making a living, but not a great one. But
yeah, but you're in Rolling Stone, and you're pretty famous. I guess that's thanks to the internet, really.
Yes.
I mean, if you didn't have the internet, you wouldn't have this place that you can publish, and that you don't have to spend money on paper, and you just are able to get your words out there. I think the internet is helping to bring together these very disparate fields, such as religion and pornography, bringing it together in your website, in you as a person. Right. It's quite extraordinary. I mean, before, religion and pornography would only meet at protest marches or something.
Right. I don't like having a boss. I don't like having an editor. I don't deal well with authority. And so on LukeFord.com, I can write whatever the hell I want. And it's been a tremendous blessing and gift the internet has for me, because I couldn't get away with this in any other forum.
So what has it done for your sex life?
It's considerably diminished the number of sex partners and experimentation I've had, because I've really grown tired of illicit sex, and now I just want to get married and have kids and have a family and be monogamous. And so, I mean, before I started writing on porn, I was a bit of a naughty boy. Like in 1995, I think I slept with about 24 women. And since I started writing on porn, I've probably slept with only 10 women in the last 3 or 4 years. But there was this nice Jewish girl that I was seeing from synagogue. I met her at a...
Is that the one on your site?
Not the nice Jewish girl on my site, but another nice Jewish girl who I met at synagogue. And she's become quite excited by some of the fame that I've achieved, and so that has enabled me to procure sex. So that is good.
Procure?
Yeah. I mean, she was really excited when I was on Fox Files and the New Times cover story in January of '98, and so she agreed to blow me, and I thought that was a wonderful thing.
Does that mean that what you did in being on these shows is a form of pornography that turned her on?
Yeah, I mean, what turns women on? That's a fascinating area in itself, and some degree of fame certainly seems to turn some women on.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm grateful for that, because if I just had to rely on my bank account, I mean, I would only be masturbating, and this way...
There you go.
Every week or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, somewhere, every month or so, I get to be lucky and do the wild thing with, some nice Jewish girl from synagogue. So.
Well, when you're on TV, it's like you join the pantheon.
Right. It's like, I'm on TV, baby, blow me.
Yeah, well, you become one of the gods and goddesses, right? And so that would be kind of sacrilegious.
Yeah, it is. I'm a great sinner.
You are.
Yeah.
You're a great sinner. And yet, well, you go to synagogue, like every Friday night?
Oh, every Friday night, Saturday morning. I was there this morning at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
And I was there till 2:30 in the afternoon. And then I went to someone's place and I slipped into the great sin of fornication. But
this afternoon?
This afternoon.
Really? With an
Yeah.
NSJ? Or?
With a nice Jewish girl.
Yeah.
I mean,
Another one?
I was trying to be strong. I was trying to keep the Torah, and I got sucked into sin yet again.
Huh. But at least it was with a Jewish girl who
Yes,
also
yes.
went to synagogue with you.
Yes.
Well, I mean, if you were just a conservative Jew, that would be okay.
Right. Well, no, I believe in, what my religion says about, confining sex to marriage, and I just haven't quite reached that point of self-control as yet. I mean, God grant me chastity, but not quite yet.
Oh, don't give me Augustine. I mean, here was a guy who was no way chaste until he was like 40 and probably diseased and couldn't get it up anymore. And then he tells everybody, okay, now that I'm going to be chaste, y'all should be chaste. I don't know. That's like a Dr. Laura to me.
I didn't have a problem with that. I didn't have a problem with Dr. Laura, and I didn't have a problem with Augustine. I don't have a problem with such quote-unquote hypocrisy.
Yeah.
I really believe that society needs standards, even if we don't live up to them. And part of the appeal of pornography and part of the sex drive itself, I believe, is the desire to break taboos and to be perverse and to sin. I've been very influenced by the thought of Dr. Robert Stoller, the late UCLA psychiatrist who wrote about the dynamics of sexual excitement and how the desire to sin, the desire to be aggressive, the desire to break taboos is an essential part of sexual excitement. And so unless we have these standards, we will need to do more and more perverse things to get a thrill. I mean, for me, a thrill is a blowjob. I mean, that is just the hugest, biggest thrill.
Well,
but if that
Max
wasn't sinful,
doesn't feel that that's sinful with his wife. I mean, do you, honey? Getting a blowjob from your wife, that's not sinful, is it?
Well, getting a blowjob is not something that we have control over.
Oh, come on. I'm trying to make a point here. He doesn't think it's sinful. He really doesn't. And yet,
Men
he takes
have
great
dicks,
pleasure in it.
so
believe
women
me.
want to suck them.
He
And
doesn't
that's the
have
truth,
to
the
feel
whole
that it's
truth, and nothing
sinful
but
to
the truth.
enjoy it.
well,
I think that's a function of being brought up with religion.
Actually,
I mean, look at the bonobo chimpanzees. Do you know about the bonobos? Okay. Do they feel sinful? No, they don't feel guilty. They enjoy sex a lot. You don't have to feel guilty to enjoy sex. Certainly, it's an element. It provides some friction to be doing something adventurous, something on the edge. But it doesn't. You don't have to be bad to feel good.
no, you don't have to feel guilty or feel sinful to enjoy sex, but I do think it's an ingredient
It helps.
in sexual excitement. It may be a very, very small ingredient for some people.
I disagree. I never feel sinful since I'm not a Catholic
Okay,
no
now he's
more.
making my point.
I just feel pleasure,
There
just
he
a lot of pleasure. I really don't think that I need to feel sinful to enjoy sex. You know what I need to feel? Is that I'm 55 years old, I'm almost out of here, God is at my shoulder, and you know what? He's going to remember me. You're the fucking guy that did all of that shit, but you were such a nice kid. Come on in. And I don't even believe in heaven.
Don't you think that sex is the essence of life?
No, I don't think sex is
Really?
the essence of life. I mean, it's not number 10 either.
How about number 1, because if we don't have it, we're gone. We're out of here. That's a fact. If we don't have sex,
We're
in
out of
one
here physically
horrible
because
form
procreation
or
doesn't
another,
happen. And
we
we're out
are
of here
outta here.
in many other ways because our sex drive is the great motivator.
That's certainly true. I mean, my sex... I wouldn't work so hard if I didn't
Absolutely.
want some prime pussy.
You work hard to get laid, and
I work-
most
yeah,
men do.
absolutely.
And women do too indirectly.
Right.
I mean, women are not as direct as guys, but we also have our horniness and we also have our sexual manipulations that we do.